Chapter 893. Oh my fucking god, I can't believe how much I love Katacuri. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Podcast. I'm the best guy ever, and this is Hypocrite.
I forgot to have my tea before this. I thought I was awake, but it looks like I'm not. But let's see. Let's see how we go.
I've got my protein drink here.
That's not tea.
It's better than tea. It's very appropriate for how manly this chapter is. But let's get into chapter 893, 36th daughter of the Charlotte family, Flambe, according to Jamine's box. These fucking hacks. Wait, it's Jimine's. I always fucking say it wrong. Her name is Flambe. You box. Stupid idiots.
It's
Japanese box.
Japanese box. You open the box, you're like, Japanese.
Well, there it is. There's the Nippon. Okay, her name is Flambe, like the food. You stupid. Like, why is the scans are so high quality at Jimine's box? They're amazing. They're beautiful. How could you get such a fundamental thing wrong, like calling her Flambe, which is obviously named after flambe, the food that everyone knows the name of?
Hang
what?
On. Let me Google Flambe, see if that's a thing.
Okay, maybe I'm totally wrong.
Oh, the first thing that comes up is Charlotte Flambe, One Piece Wiki.
No!
So, yeah.
Incorrect! Incorrect, you fucking hacks! Oh my god. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me go check. I will check the wiki right now, because it generally has the katakana. Okay, I'm looking at it right now, you stupid hacks! That is a be character in Japanese with the accent mark. That makes it a... sorry, it's the A character, the H-E sound, he, only with an accent mark that makes it take on a B sound in Japanese. So her name, even in Japanese, is literally Flambe. Flambe. So it is a B.
And
fools.
wait,
Her
so
name is
this
Flambe.
whole wiki is P. They've written it with.
Like, I can read Japanese, everyone. I can do this. I studied for years. I can see right now. It says Flambe with a B in Japanese. This is fundamentally incorrect. I should literally fix the wiki. It is wrong. Her name is Flambe. This is retarded.
Do you think people may have written that because they're like, Flambe has nothing to do with having a big balloon butt? I don't get it.
What does Flambe have to do with a balloon butt, though?
Maybe it's
yeah, nothing.
Something.
Foolish. Absolutely foolish, everyone. Please correct your shit, Wiki and Jimine's box. Fucking somebody tell these people they're wrong. I'm a Japanese expert. I know everything about Japan.
I thought you were about to say I'm a Japanese enemy.
That too. But moving on from the very fucking first piece of text of this chapter, let's spend another 10 minutes on each one of those.
We got
cover
the
page,
Usopp. We got the Tontata boys on their little Uso Land pirate ship. And
I'm very happy to get the name of the ship, Uso Land. I like that. I like knowing the names.
And I was right. That cannon coming out the front is just a pistol. You can see the butt of the gun. It's just sort of there.
You're so right. It is a pistol, making it completely ineffectual. But okay, cool. Like the Tontatas are like super fast and are like ninja speed and they'll really kick your ass. So that thing is like literally useless. But you know it's funny, so it's okay.
Yeah.
The Uso Land, hilarious.
All right.
So there they go. They got a pirate
getting
ship.
into the chapter.
Yes.
The fight with Luffy and Berserk. Category 5 Hurricane.
It's a Category 5 Hurricane.
And, you know, we were debating last time, like, how is Luffy going to get out of this one? Some people in our Discord were saying, oh, Luffy got stabbed, but that was like him seeing the future finally, and he won't actually be stabbed. But here we see that it wasn't true.
He has 100% been stabbed. Correct. I mean, when you're reading One Piece like this... Oh god, excuse me. It's easy to get a little bit, oh fuck, I'm hiccuping, like over analytical and be like, think you see, you know, like I did it with the whole pudding thing. Just, you know, like thinking that there's gonna be this crazy network of all this bullshit that's gonna happen. And generally, One Piece is not really that complicated. It's usually the most logical thing, but whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. The point is, he got stabbed. He got hurt real bad. And furthermore, I believe. I mean, so the first thing we see is Luffy writhing on the ground in agony, in abject agony. And at the bottom of the page, we see Flambe and the gang just laughing their asses off. And honestly, okay, I've read this chapter like 4 times now, because I really needed to fully process it. And you will hear my full thoughts as we go along, everyone. But Luffy is in like this first page. The more I read it, the more I am like, ow. This is actually really serious and hurts me to like look at Luffy's face on the bottom left of this page next to these fucking people laughing at him. It's like pathetic in like the real way pathetic. It's like it's actually like sad. I feel just like sad looking at this. Fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. But we'll get into more as to why it's so intense as we keep going.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like a theme, not always, but like the laughing while someone is in big pain. It's like to add insult to injury. It's like, hee, what a dumb idiot, he's wounded, lol, what a fag, you know, that sort of stuff. It really makes it hurt more.
It sure does. It sure does.
Yeah, so Luffy's like, his guts are falling out. Like, that was a big chunk cut out of him. It's probably like intestines like ruptured. This shit all over the place.
They say a little later. They say a little later. It's like a fatal blow, which I mean, I always take that with a grain of salt. But like his stomach is like sliced open from the fucking like. And remember, it was doing the like spin drill attack. So it's honestly, it's like if this were real life, he should be dead. Like in a few minutes.
He is made of rubber. You know what I was thinking?
True.
That maybe his Devil Fruit awakening is him being able to repair his body by bouncing atoms around.
What the fuck are you talking? No! Can we please just leave Devil Fruit Awakening out of it? I hate Devil Fruit Awakening so much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to pretend it's not real.
There's no way there's going to be a Devil Fruit Awakening and he's going to learn the Haki thing.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Not here, but, you know. In the future, Luffy's gonna get it somehow, some way.
Since Awakening is real, I'm okay with Luffy like learning it at some point. But God, I hope let's please not pile on all the power-ups right now, Oda, please.
Yeah.
At least space them out, which Oda's good at doing. But anyway, so we keep going, and we just see Berserk just continually like Luffy's putting up his guard. He's just beating the shit out of him. While again, just from the sidelines, we see Flambe just kya-ha-haing her ass off, her big fat bulbous disgusting ass off. Just thinking about how much she loves Katacuri, thinking about what a good girl she is. By, helping him, or something, and just being nice. Oh, and God, I don't know if I should, spoil it now, but the point is, ultimately, we just see Katakuri fucking wrecking Luffy, and, as I was saying before, it is absolutely, pathetic and actually sad, and makes me sad that this is happening, especially when we get to, the point that all this was because I think I mentioned this last chapter. There was a weird moment where it looked like Luffy's leg was getting shot. And I was like, what's happening here? And it's explained in this chapter. Flambe, it's why she was laughing in the very last panel of last chapter, shot a tranquilizing dart straight up through his leg. Ow. Very painful. Jeez. It's like a silent dart, so nobody could hear. Luffy and Katsukuri couldn't fucking predict it. And that is what got Luffy tripped up for a moment that allowed Katakuri to land that devastating, literally fatal blow on Luffy here. And now that, his guard's been broken, Luffy is trying to fucking keep his guts in his body and has to continually dodge this, literally more powerful than him opponent. Just, continuously. This is, he is so fucked up now. This is serious fucking shit. And it's all because Flambe, in a moment of distraction, Luffy, just got hit by this outside force. And we can talk about that. I really want to get into this whole situation.
I don't know whether I mentioned it last time, but I had a feeling that the whole, the reason she was laughing was because she was interfering and laughing about it, just laughing about it. Yeah. And, so this next bit that happens
Go on.
Is that, Kataguri realizes, Luffy's, in a fucking crater. And he's basically dead.
Just right before that, I just want to say how much, again, reading through this whole thing, knowing what we know now, what happens in this chapter, all the panel after panel, page after page, before this point, of Katakuri, beating the shit out of Luffy, this should feel victorious for Katakuri, and, he should be happy, I have done it, I have overcome my foe. But he does not. He feels something is off, and you can see it, and he's like, why is this happening? What changed just now? You can feel his lack of satisfaction with, even these, obviously super cool looking moves that he's doing. It's whoa, sick shonen shit, bro. Look, it's so, I love his donuts with the weird, jet propulsion arm extension they do out of the back as he's doing, fucking 20 hands all punching Luffy at the same time. God, it's so cool, but yet something is off. Something is off about this. But okay, please continue. So Luffy's dead. So
Luffy's down, and he's Kataguri's starting to realize something's up, and he's oh wait, we get a bit of a flashback to Luffy, right, something a Haki, you get to figure it out unconsciously or whatever.
They're talking about how they flashback. They've been doing this a lot lately. Of flashbacks to Luffy's training with Rayleigh and in this case, it is training observation Haki, and obviously that's relevant to this whole thing with Katacuri right now. Katacuri is kind of like the observation Haki training arc going on, more or less, and it's pretty cool. Like for us viewers, that is, to like really get the depths of what it is. It's a very interesting layout that Oda has done by giving us this 2-year time skip. We've been told that Luffy trained with Rayleigh, and now we can just constantly do these flashbacks as the series progresses. It's a very interesting format that honestly I want to like think about more as in like a serious way, in like an analytical way. The way One Piece is so different.
In an analytical way, it's just really good handy planning, because like you can say, well, he trained. Well, what did he train? Well, I'll tell you when it becomes relevant, and he can just pull things out of his ass, but like it still works.
True.
Like, I'm not saying that as a bad way. I'm saying that as that's a clever way to write it so that it's not bullshit.
Yeah, it just keeps things engaging. But okay, so fair enough.
Yeah, so he gets that, and then he stands up, and I think it's because that flashback is that he is about to demonstrate seeing the future a little bit, because he's just about figured it out. And Flambe is like, oh, he got up again. What the hell, dude? And then she spits a little thing at him.
Just roasting his wobbly legs. By the way, I like that. So her weapon is a blow dart, and I like that she is like a weirdo pufferfish person, and like uses her body, like inflates with air, and then she like squeezes her whole body to like shoot the large amount of air. Kind of like Luffy does, actually, when he does his like, big puff up
I didn't
attacks.
even notice her body change. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, isn't it cool? I like that. So she's definitely like a puffy, kind of individual, and she uses that, and she weaponizes her thickness. Oh my God, she's fucking doing it. Yes, excellent.
Great, yeah, good one.
Literally though, 10 out of 10.
For the forces of evil this time.
What a change, what a juxtaposition. Galco, please save us. Okay,
yes,
go on.
So, Luffy manages to dodge the needle, presumably because he saw the future. Like, he was stood up and then he dodged it and then he fell over.
Yeah.
I think he stood up because he couldn't dodge it from the ground, and that was why he's like, I see it happening, so I should stand up so that I can fall out of the way.
Yeah,
which
maybe.
is pretty cool.
Maybe. And I like that his dodge is just him collapsing again. He just like it was a real dodge, but then you just like boom, dead fucking weight.
Yeah,
Jesus
she's
Christ.
there like chortling it up, chuckling behind the wall. And categories can see. She's like, she's fucked with this, and he's going over to her, and he's like, this is the shonen moment. This is the
and don't forget though. Like, she and the rest of the gang are like, no, be quiet. Like, we can't let Katacuri know we're here. We can't let him know that we're like getting involved in this. Like, they know they shouldn't be here and that they shouldn't be getting involved. They are aware of this fact. But, like, Flambe is just laughing too hard. It's her hubris, She's just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm the best. I'm getting involved. I'm doing this. Yeah, fuck it, man. It's all good. Love me, Katacuri. I'm cool.
It's kind of weird how why are they there if they're not supposed to be seen helping? Weren't they already shooting in plain sight?
Well, I guess they've gotten away from it now. I guess it's just because, that's not a bad point. Like, they were involved in the fight. Like last chapter or something.
Category saying, hey, stop it. They were just that there was a sniper troop there now, and they were shooting at Luffy.
That's
and now they're
true.
hiding. I don't know why they're hiding. I just didn't really think about it until now.
I'm gonna go back and check that, but yeah, go on.
But anyway, the main thing to talk about is that Category is now. He realizes the hit that he got off on Luffy was unfair, and then he's like, "How dare you interfere with the fight? Why are you laughing? I love Luffy. He's my best friend. He's the coolest guy." And then he stabs himself, and it's a very cool image, and it's a very cool moment, but it is kind of weird, and I don't know whether you like this.
There is a lot to talk about this, and this is the conceit of the entire chapter, like this moment right here. I was reading the threads, and I was really interested in what everybody thought of this moment. And let's just keep going a little bit, because it all ties, like, this is just kind of a big thing happening. He immediately then, after stabbing himself, rips off his mask, revealing for the first time to everyone, this is like my favorite panel ever, like even more than him stabbing himself, it's the next big one on the next page, of his big, gigantic, weirdo shark face, just screaming at, fucking Flambe, like, stop, like, please, don't give unwanted support in a duel between men. And she's like, oh, fuck. So, like, this is the big secret that he's always hiding, This is it. This is the climax of this character. I thought it was before. I thought it was when Luffy humiliated him, but I was wrong. This is the actual climax happening before our very eyes. This is the emotional climax of this character right now. He is just, oh my god. We will come back to the whole stabbing of himself thing. We will discuss this in depth, I promise, because there was so much to say about this. But just to get the facts out there, so, like, he reveals himself. He is so... It's not just that he stabs himself. It's that he's witnessing everyone laughing at Luffy. Like, the people, Flambe and her gang, are just, like, out and out. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. We were hiding, but fuck it, dude. It's so funny that Luffy is getting fucked up. And now that Katacuri knows that she interfered, and everyone is mocking and laughing at Luffy, Katacuri himself, who has recognized how capable, how resilient, how powerful Luffy is in his own right, sees them laughing at his efforts, knowing that they have sabotaged what Luffy was doing, and recognizes that this is some bullshit. That what has happened here is not actually a fair judgment on, like, Luffy's abilities. This was not him going toe-to-toe with Luffy and discovering that, like, Luffy was in fact the weaker one. That is not what happened. There was an outside interference, and again, we'll talk about whether or not that was, like, justified, because Luffy himself comments on, like, this is a pirate fight, there's no rules. I understand that, which I actually am really glad that he said, because that's very appropriate. But, like, it's the fact that they were laughing more than anything, and then we get this moment, as I said, he reveals his face, his hideous, freakish face. And right when I first saw Katacuri, did I not say that those scars on his face were definitely going to be plot relevant? And they kind of even weren't, even before when we saw his face for the first time, but now they are. Now that he is being mocked for the fact that he has, like, this big old freakish mouth. And, like, let's not ignore the fact that his big old mouth, his gigantic jaw, is stitched up specifically so that, like, people can't tell how big it is. Like, he had to himself do that, because if he just had a big mouth and just covered it, you'd still be able to see the lines. He knows how weird and freakish it is that he has this gigantic mouth and people, like, don't want to see it. So he went out of his way to stitch up his own face so that people wouldn't, roast him, like we're about to see happen right here. So after he stabs himself and reveals himself as, like, this, less than perfectly aesthetic guy, I don't know, like, obviously the Charlotte family is more judgmental about appearances than you would think with, like, Big Mom, their weirdo, like, accepting of all people mom, who actually isn't accepting of all people, I guess. Like, they see his face and they're just like, ew, gross, actually downvoted, do not like this. You are gross and weird, and we do not like that. So kind of the same reaction they had to Pudding and her, like, weirdo third eye. Like, Katakuri's in a similar position, I guess. And they start calling him, like, a pelican eel. They just, just roasting him. And fucking Flambe literally spits in his face. Spits in his fucking face. And she was the leader of his fucking fan club. And, like, on a dime, just changes when she sees that he's actually, like, ugly or something.
There's too many things to talk about right now.
I know. So much happening.
What do we start with?
Let's just get the facts out. Okay, so we right after she spits on him, we see a little flashback, which I love, to, like, she calls him a pelican eel or, like, a gulper eel or whatever it is. So he's got, like, this weird face, and there's, like, eels with these gross big jaws. And we see on one panel this little flashback of, like, all these kids running away, being like, ew, the pelican eel is coming. Don't get close to him. Also, his strength, he's really powerful, so we'll fuck you up. So let's make fun of him from far away. Kind of like people roasting people on Twitter, just because they know that they can't get any recompense. So they'll roast him from a distance.
Why on Twitter?
It's just, like, it's a platform that allows people to, like, talk shit and face no repercussions. I just mean, like, anonymous criticism. That's kind of what, I don't know, it reminds me of that a little bit. And, like, we see Katakuri on screen just, like, grinning, remembering this memory, as he's just like, yeah, this is why people like Luffy are good, and people like you, Flambe, are bad. Because you are a piece of shit who can't accomplish anything, and all you do is be a hanger-on to people more capable than you, and you're literally the worst. Whereas Luffy is my fucking opponent who, like, tried to murder my own mother, who I actually care for, along with the rest of my crew. But I respect him more because he has principles. He is not a fucking cowardly, sneaky piece of shit asshole like Flambe is. And this is the moment where I knew this was literally the worst person I'd ever encountered in my life. Flambe is mad that Katacuri is gross and weird. She feels, like, betrayed because he's actually, like, gross looking or something, and she was the leader of his fan club. Okay, like, I got it. But then they begin, her and all her cronies, start taking fucking pictures of Katacuri with the express stated purpose to spread these over the fucking island to ruin his reputation for everyone else because they're mad at him for actually being ugly and, like, getting blood on her. Like, holy shit. Literally the worst person I've ever like, he does one thing. She loved him. She, like, was worshiping at his fucking feet up till this point, and now all of a sudden, because he's not, like, the perfect, you know, flawless creature she thought he was, and he has actual principles, he's not just, like, a vacant, empty vessel for her to project her freakish love onto. Now, she's decided, you know what? I'm gonna actually fuck this guy. Oh my god. It just reveals the vapidity of her fucking feelings up to this point. It is... Oh my god, I'm going full MGTOW right now. I hate this person. She represents literally everything bad and evil in the world, and it is brilliant writing on Oda's part to fucking characterize this way. This is fucking everything. And just, like, seeing this, flashing back to the beginning of the chapter, just looking at the dichotomy of characters between, like, Luffy, Katacuri, and all these fucking people. And you know how I said in a One Piece Weagua recently, oh no, Katacuri was, like, the best character since Rob Lucci, like, the best villain. Oh my god, he just fucking shattered that shit. He is so much better than Rob Lucci. This is more backstory than Rob Lucci ever fucking got. All Rob Lucci had was that he cared about justice real bad. Katakuri has fucking principles. This fucking guy... you know what? We actually need to keep going because there's, like, even more context to give to this fucking rant I'm doing right now. Yeah, please.
I take it that you like all this then.
I have slightly mixed feelings. So and we can, if you want to, like, we can talk about, like, the how he stabbed himself. Like,
the
part
of this that I'm not sure about is really just the apparent 180 of Katakuri's character, because initially he was I mean,
why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Well, not 180, but like some sort of degree, but like he
about
was
920 degree, you know, whatever.
You know, it seemed before that he would kill anyone who saw his face, and that he would never be seen. He never wanted to be seen as not cool, and the reason for that is because he's a gross freak, and now we see he has a past where people made fun of him, and he's like, everybody loves him, everybody thinks he's the greatest,
right?
And he downplays that. He says to Brule, shut up, I'm not that great, just
yes. God, I love it. I love it. I'm so relatable.
He downplays the stuff, but he keeps it going because it's preferable, I guess, to be the ultimate badass guy that is not a freak than to accept his freakishness or something.
Something like that.
Him changing, like, this idea of like being really scared of letting people know, because now people are taking these pictures. He's not even trying to kill them. Like, he killed those 3 guys for laying eyes on him, and now he's not even giving a shit. He's
okay, we can talk about
continuing with the battle.
I totally understand why you'd have that point, but yeah, go on.
And it's just the transition from him not being like really uptight about that, and then suddenly not. I don't know whether it makes enough sense for a fight with a very strong and resilient pirate captain to bring all of that out, and especially since it wasn't, like, established as something that he was even that against. Like, it didn't seem like he secretly wanted to reveal himself or anything. It didn't. It never seemed in any way that he was upset with the status quo of his life. I mean, you know, there was no indication there, and now he's suddenly, because he fought Luffy, he respects him, and now he is, he doesn't care. And it just I don't dislike it. It's a very cool shonen sort of thing. Like, now this is like Luffy's big rival or something. Someone who really respects him and can match him in basically every way. And you interfered with our duel, and I'm going to hurt myself to match it, so that we can fight honorably. It just... there are things that just sort of don't quite add up in order to make this a really cool stock shonen thing that I've seen before.
Okay.
Because one thing I gotta say, the honor with the fighting, he wasn't really like initially he was like, I'm not gonna underestimate you. I'm not a stupid like idiot. I'm just going to kill you.
Dumb average villain or whatever. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you. And now, for some reason, he doesn't care about beating the shit and killing Luffy. He now cares about the honor of the fight instead. It just seems a bit like it wasn't set up enough to feel okay in some aspects.
I see where you're coming from, and those were generally my initial impressions. But let me tell you why I disagree with that point. And I certainly, again, I understand where that's coming from, and I saw a lot of people expressing that same kind of feeling. Here is why I disagree, and I think this makes at least a bit more sense than what you were saying and what other people have been saying. And I will totally concede there is definitely some element of like shonen-y tropage going on here with this kind of change. But here's why I don't actually think that it's that much of a change. From the beginning, we have been aware that Katacuri is an extremely prideful character. This whole narrative of him never lying on his back, and as recently as like a chapter or two ago, he was talking about how like just falling on your back is shameful. Like, why don't you feel bad, Luffy, about like falling on the ground? You shouldn't do that because it's embarrassing and you shouldn't do it. Pride and confidence are clearly major factors in Katakuri's life. He is practical, but he is also, extremely self-conscious, and I think that's been laid throughout his character in a big way.
That's the thing. I feel like the pride has been sold as like pride through fear. Like he is prideful, and he is he never lies down. He's perfect in every way because he's scared of this secret getting out that he's a freak, and or
just being mocked in general. But yeah.
Like it seems like it's not a pride born of like. It feels like a pride like this for the honor of a warrior.
Yeah,
is something that he learned during this fight from Luffy.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
It feels like that level of pride. Like, I don't know whether he's really, like...
Well, I think what we have here, and this is why I love him so much, is an extremely powerful character whose reputation got out of control, even though he is, like, an awesome guy. And, like, people... I really, really love this depiction of this character. It's like the way that everything is just spiraled out of control and everybody loves him so much, even though he knows that he is an embarrassing guy with embarrassing secrets. When he was a kid, he got made fun of for the scars on, for this really big jaw that he has, like, sewed up. Like, Jesus Christ, that's pretty fucking extreme, to sew up your own fucking mouth so people won't roast you for it just because it's a big mouth. And now this whole thing where he, like, hides away so he can, like, be his actual self and, like, relax in his little hut and eat his, disgusting donuts and, like, just be goofy. Because, like, he can't just be goofy out in the world because that goes counter to his reputation. And people just have these expectations for him that they have projected onto him that he probably never asked for. It's just that he's so competent. These like, again, expectations were placed upon him his whole life. And once he started to, like, probably cover up his face so nobody could see his weird mouth and, sew up his scars and, like, hide his, like, degenerate food-eating lifestyle, like, since things just really spiraled out of control for this guy within, his old pirate crew. And even though he is, objectively, super powerful and probably, like, the most powerful pirate, he seems to be, besides Big Mom herself, who's literally, like, never lost a fight. Like, even beyond that, his reputation is like that he's literally perfect when no one's literally perfect. I mean, this seems really human to me in a way that One Piece doesn't generally get, and it's like the coolest fucking thing ever. So, like, I really think this is a deep-seated point of this character. Just like this like, self-consciousness. And at some point that turned into this, like, prideful stance of, like, now he, like, identifies with, like, yes, I cannot allow myself to, like, be embarrassed. Because, again, all these fears of, like, me, being ashamed of myself and, doing these things that are gross that people would be shocked if they knew that I did or knew that I looked like this or any of that stuff. And And here, what we're seeing here is, and again, part of this is, don't forget, he has not had a real challenge of a fight in God knows how long. Like, this man is so powerful, no one's on his level. So even though he lives in fear of being exposed for, like, the embarrassing things he does, he still remains such a powerhouse that no one can challenge him, like, up on his level. So he's kind of just, like, living scared in this ivory tower where, like, nobody can reach him. But if they did...
I think that the main issue is it sounds like I hate this, and I don't. I actually really like it, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's just
okay.
It's just that there's a lacking of this. I think most people who
do you think it was too fast of a change or something?
I think it was a little too fast of like the last chapter.
Okay, that's free.
There's been moments in this fight where it has just been, just fighting, and when we go over it in the podcast, we just sort of skim over it because there's nothing interesting happening that really. We say, oh, he got punched, and then we move on to the next interesting part of the chapter.
And I feel like they could have
they could have either earlier than the fight or during the fight a little bit hinted at this idea of Katacuri seeing Luffy and thinking about I guess just being a bit more obtuse about the fact that he is being gaining respect for Luffy. There's been a few
let's map out
that. Like text things here and there where he's thought, oh, this guy, yeah, he's pretty cool. But I think it just feels a little quick. That's all it is.
Okay,
it's cool. It just feels a little quick.
That is fair if you want to say that it's quick, but I would defend that a little bit. And I don't disagree. Some of these parts were kind of, tedious, just like, okay, fighting, I got it. But looking back at it now, and again, you don't always, owe a series necessarily that you read chapter to chapter to, look at it from over the long time, but I think it is a different experience. And if we were to, go back now, I think it would be more apparent that this show has, this fight has definitely undergone, a narrative. And the narrative was specifically that, Katacuri, and we see at the very end of this chapter, which we have not even gotten to, that we will. But at the end, this fight started with Katacuri saying, you are beneath me. You, no one can fucking touch me. I'm so good. I'm just going to dispose of you. I won't underestimate you. I will take you seriously, but I'm going to dispose of you like the vermin you are and fucking throw you out in the, in the fucking sea or whatever. Because I'm an enforcer. I'm an exterminator. That's what I do. And now, and the fight up to this point has been him recognizing, slowly but surely, having to roll out more of his abilities. Having to, actually use his spear, having to actually use, his Devil Fruit Awakening powers, having to use his, extra, hardened Mochi attacks. Each of these powers has come when he realized, oh, okay, Luffy is actually too powerful for me to just beat with this. I need to bring out, more power to fight this guy. And slowly but surely, and in Katakuri's mind, he's thinking to himself, oh, shit, this guy's, actually putting up a challenge. He is meeting everything I throw at him with, an equal and opposite reaction. I have not seen this in a long time. Yeah.
You say that, but it's just... Mm-hmm. I think they just didn't sell that aspect of the fight, of his monologue, enough to the point where I feel like he can both stab himself and then rip off the thing and get rid of that all at once. I don't know.
But those are the same thing, though. Don't you understand?
I know they're the same thing, but all it would have taken, really. It's so close. I think that's why people are oh, I don't know. Because it's so close to being okay, it's just, it would have required him, standing over Luffy and then saying something for a little bit, or, thinking something. Having a little, a couple more panels, even. I know, I don't really want to be the guy, I just feel like I should mention that that's my initial reaction.
Well, I'm sorry every character can't be Jinbei, Hippo, but, sometimes you just gotta... I'm just kidding. That's not a serious point. Both in the sense that Jinbei's a good character, and also in the fact that I'm refuting anything you just said.
I don't think this part ruins the fight that we've had so far. I think it's fine. I think I just think I understand, if people say, if they have reservations about it, I get where they're coming from.
You have every right to feel that way, and I am happy to admit I have a personal bias in favor of characters like Katakuri. I, with all my heart and soul, despise people like Flambe here. They are the ultimate evil in the real world. So when I see characters like her depicted in media. It makes me murderous. And when I see characters like Katacuri, who display integrity, and even though they may be, you know, like, opposed politically or whatever to, like, our characters, you can see goodness in him. He is a upstanding guy. He is out here defending his pirate crew, his literal family, from people who literally wish to murder his family, including Luffy, because that's what Luffy was here to do. He has every justification in the world to be doing exactly what he's doing. And when he sees a person here who he is able to respect, at least as a warrior and as a, you know, respectable opponent, like, to me, this is exactly what I look for. This is my crack, this kind of shit. So, like, I admit it. I have a bias in favor of characters like this, totally willing to accept that could very well make me overlook, you know, perhaps rushed character development, perhaps.
It's really just...
Not that I'm saying it is.
I keep saying it's really just, but I don't know what it really is. But, like, I've noticed, like, I know this trope, and I really like it when it does happen, where it's like two cool guys, one evil, one good, and somebody interferes, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, you interfered, and the good guy lost, said the evil guy, and the evil guy is like, fuck you, other guys, don't interfere. Like, it's happened in Naruto a bunch of times.
Indeed,
I love that.
indeed.
I love it when it happens, and it's really cool, here.
I do want to talk more about that point.
I can't put my finger on what about it feels a little weird, aside from...
you know, there is one thing. For me, I do... so, like, okay, everything about, like, Katakuri suddenly, like, giving a shit about how Luffy feels is based on the fact that he's, like, gained respect for him as a warrior. And the question then is fair to ask, like, okay, did Luffy really earn his respect here? What did Luffy actually do?
Yeah, that's probably it, because Luffy obviously is very strong.
Indeed.
And obviously is very tenacious, but tenacious D. Luffy.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, but for the last most of the
now
fight,
you're talking double team.
Now, and he's been, like, being beaten up even before the tragic moment when he got stabbed. Yeah, I guess he's like, you can keep up with me, but I'm going to crush you, was his thing the whole time. And now it's like, and now we're equals, because we both have wounds, even though I'm still faster and better than you in every way.
The narrative element that has really been hung on, and again, we went over, like, Katakuri is better in every way. Like, everything about Katakuri is better. And so Luffy beating him, like, would be weird and not okay with me, at least as things stand. And again, I'm not one for big, like, last-minute power-ups, so I don't want that to happen either. Like, I literally want Luffy to lose, especially now. And again, we haven't even gotten to the end part, but, like, I just... like, everything narratively about this respect seems to really hinge on Luffy developing observation haki, you know, like, in the stress of battle right now, and, like, evolving as a fighter before Katakuri's eyes. And that, because, like, that's Katakuri's thing from the very beginning. It's been like, what's special about him is how awesome his observation haki is. And Luffy is currently evolving his observation haki. And Katakuri recognizes this. He sees Luffy improving, and he's like, oh shit, like, this guy's, quote, you know, like, getting on my level in a way. So, like, I see what Oda was going for with this. Not to mention Luffy. I mean, Luffy hasn't really done anything physically that impressive against Katacuri. He's, like, hit him once or twice, I think, in Gear 4th or whatever. But, like, yeah, it's about the observation haki evolving. That's what this fight is really, like, about, as far as I can tell.
I think, like, when Luffy dodges the blow dart in this chapter and falls down, I looked back, and Katacuri only notices Flambe, and it's like... that's the thing that gets him going, and he doesn't seem to notice the fact that Luffy pulled off the seeing the future thing, if that's
it seemed to me that I think he inferred that Flambe had done these things, because they go out of their way, Oda, to say that these are, like, silent darts, and, like, no notice is made to them, except for Luffy when he, like, actually gets hit. He's like, ow. But like, yeah, it does not seem that he actually, like, witnessed the blow dart hitting them.
That would be a good moment for Katakuri to be like, oh my god, he actually learned it while it, like, in this high intense situation where he's gonna die. He's been training and figuring out my powers. Like, that's impressive.
But to be fair, like, this chapter, you know, the part that we quote unquote skipped over was him, like, beating up Luffy while monologuing about, like, what happened, Straw Hat? You were growing. I was seeing you evolve, and all of a sudden you fuck up like this. I'm pissed off about that because you were fucking impressing me, and what the fuck happened?
I guess it was there.
We shouldn't have skipped over that, because that's actually very important to this. Like, that is Yeah, like the respect Katakuri is developing for Luffy is important. And like in the last couple chapters, we definitely saw him like, we saw his thoughts of like him being like, oh shit, like, oh, he's actually like learning this stuff. Like he's actually like doing dodges the way I do. And then in this chapter, he's all of a sudden really pissed off that changed.
It's like back in that chapter, like when he was saying, "Oh shit, he might learn it soon. I've got to finish him off." Like he was saying stuff like that.
Right.
Like I better hit him even harder so that there's no chance that he can actually do anything, because it's important that I don't like underestimate him.
Well, here's what changed. Here's what changed. He became aware that the interference... I actually read this back while we were talking just now. There was only one time that an outsider shot an arrow at Luffy, like during this fight with one of Flambe's crew. So, as far as we could tell, there was only one time that anyone shot at Luffy besides Flambe's interference here. So I don't think it was actually like constant attacks from like outsiders. So the fact that Flambe interfered here does actually stand out a little bit and interfere with this like perceived one-on-one fight they were having. So I don't think that's like a major issue. Fuck, what was I forgot what I was responding to while I was making that point.
I forgot what I was saying. It doesn't matter. It
was important. Fuck. God damn it. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, I'm sure I've covered it already in essence. Fuck, what the fuck was I saying? God
Should
damn
have
it.
interrupted me, god damn it.
Oh, shit. You're right, I should not.
He should. No, yeah,
what?
He was talking
what were you
about...
just saying? Uh-huh.
He was talking about something.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, the podcast is ruined.
It's ruined. It's soiled. Just like Katakuri's reputation.
We were on a roll, and now we're stupid idiots.
Okay, I mean, there are plenty of things I want to talk to about, like, the next couple of pages. We're getting close to the end here, but, like...
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say, the what are they? Pelican eel. That's the Super Mario 64 eel. Look at that guy.
Hey, this guy, make a mod of Katacuri in Mario 64, please.
When all else fails, make a gamer reference. Then your podcast will be saved.
Oh god, like I might listen back to this and like edit in audio there, just because like I don't.
Well, then I won't be able to respond to it if you're an idiot.
I'll edit you in too. That's just my voice pretending to be you. That's what I'll do. Okay, well let's just keep going, and if I remember, I remember. If not, whatever. So the point is, okay, so we got past the whole. Flambe is like, I'm gonna give everyone's photos out. Fuck you, Katakuri, you're actually an asshole. And so here's Katakuri, like, addressing Luffy now. He's like, my apologies. I didn't notice there was a needle there. I only stabbed you because I thought it was fair and even. And that's what I was going... Oh, I remember the point! It was about fairness. Okay, yeah, this is the relevant page right here. And then, okay, so he says, like, I'm sorry I didn't notice the needle. Like, I only stabbed you because I thought it was fair, etc. And Luffy replies, in a duel between pirates, there's no such thing as playing dirty. Not being able to dodge it was my mistake. And that is so important that Luffy addressed that. Because a lot of people were saying, like, why exactly is Katakuri mad is Katakuri mad that anyone interfered? Like, this is a pirate duel. Like, literally, this man was part of a plot to kill his mother and harm his crew. Why would he care if there's outside interference? Because his only goal is to exterminate this person. Okay. There are multiple reasons for that. And here are the two. And this is what I forgot to say before. It's that, one, there was outside interference by Flambe, and he is an honorable guy. He does have like these codes of conduct in his internal world, and that is reinforced. And so in his mind, he was like facing an opponent who was rising to his challenge. It was actually proving like a real challenge to him, someone who was on his level, because he's all about respect. And then on the other hand, the other thing is, it is their laughter. It is their laughter at Luffy's struggles and his history of being mocked. Those two things fused and created character development within him that, yes, was this chapter, so you could call it, like, fast or whatever, but it plays into everything that we have learned about this character up to this point. It is that we know that mockery gets to him, because we know he was mocked as a child, which, by the way, might make him sympathetic to Pudding and her friendship with the Straw Hats, because Pudding was also mocked as a child for having a third eye. So maybe there'll be some friendship going on there.
I'm going to talk about that later. But
okay.
I want to switch sides to say that there's a way to bolster that argument, which is that the fact that Luffy, when he found out that about the donut thing,
yes,
he didn't laugh at all. You're just like, what? What's going on? Why are you eating donuts? Like,
I mean, Luffy does shameful shit all the time. Way more shameful than that. So,
yeah. So,
because
like,
Luffy doesn't have this kind of... Luffy doesn't have this... This is the key thing, and I'm sorry. But Luffy does not have the, like, social, like, elevated position. You ever hear the phrase, putting the pussy on a pedestal? Katakuri's pussy has been put way the fuck on a pedestal. It's a coin of phrase. And, like, he is a character extremely susceptible to the criticisms of those around him. And I think it's just subtly over his life, ever since that flashback, we see this chapter of people making fun of him. From the very first shot of this character, him covering his mouth, having sewed up the sides of his mouth, those are social pressures that made him do those things. They are an integral part of this character, in addition to, you know, eating food, like, in hiding. Like, there are way more ridiculous characters in One Piece, so it's not like in One Piece we don't show stupid characters, or, like, the whole world makes fun of people like that. Luffy is way more shameful. It's specifically Katakuri and his aversion to being mocked that makes him act the way he does. And before, you know, you said that it's weird that all of a sudden he's like okay with just like revealing himself to everyone and just being like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just like it's over. I don't care anymore. Like, after I murdered people who found out how embarrassing I am. The reason for that is because he has witnessed Luffy. He has witnessed his science, and he recognizes. I mean, it was just, it has gone past the pale of what he's willing to tolerate. And that's the big dramatic moment of this duel. Katakuri recognizing that he should not bow to the pressures, the social pressures that his crew and family impose upon him. That he needs to just stop allowing that to dictate the way he should live his life. And should just, you know, here's a guy, not hiding anything, fighting with everything he's got. Just completely revealing himself on the fucking battlefield, throwing everything at Katacuri. And Katacuri respects that, and he's responding in the only way he can by, you know, reciprocating this honorable battle situation going on. And I don't know, man. Like, I get why people would criticize this and be like, well, just, you know, whatever it takes to win, man. This is just a duel to the death. There's no rules here. But Katakuri is a man defined by rules. Principle are what compose his entire being, as evidenced by his fucking character design. 10 out of 10. I fucking love Katakuri. I'm sorry, please go on.
It takes a bit of
Who's a better villain? Who's a fucking better villain in One Piece? Is Eneru even a better? Eneru is not as good a character as Katakuri. Eneru has the best
obviously.
Fucking role.
This guy has the like could be like if neither of them kill each other right here, a rival for Luffy in the future. But what I'm saying is that there's a bit of inference you have to. Is that the word? Inference?
Yeah, that's right.
To get some of the messages that you're saying there, because not everything is laid out. But I will say that not everything needs to be laid out, and sometimes things can be subtle. It's just sometimes things in One Piece are overtly shown over and over again, as we know with Jinbei's water sports abilities.
Indeed.
And then other things like this slowly building respect for Luffy and desire to distance himself from the bullies in his own family is sort of very subtle and sort of pushed away, and it's not given as much attention. I feel like it should have been. I feel like we could have. I feel like if we were gonna like balance it out, we take away a couple of the Jinbei panels and we replace them with a couple more fight scene moments of this fight with you know a bit more obvious stuff. But I don't think it's bad that it's not obvious. I just feel like I missed it, I guess.
Okay,
and maybe other people may have missed it as well.
I don't expect everyone to interpret it exactly the way I do. Like, I'm definitely projecting a lot of my personal, you know, fucking psychosis onto these characters, you know, a little bit. But like, who can fucking deny the subtle and brilliant character design of having Katakuri have these big old scars on his face and his covered mouth? Like, from panel 1, I was like, what the fuck is up with that? That looks weird and suspicious. Something is going to be revealed about that. And lo and fucking behold, it was a core principle of the character. He had literally been covering his mouth out of embarrassment. He had stitched up his own fucking mouth, because in this chapter, like 50 chapters later, we learned the character is like embarrassed by his big old mouth, so he did it himself. It is like, how can you not love that? It's so good. Like, why does Eneru have like big earlobes? I don't know, just because he thinks they're literally cool. But this guy has like so much built into him from the fucking ground up. And the fact that he's so I'm not going to go into it, but everything about this character is designed to be like intimidating and can be used to reinforce the way he's like an imposing character in the Big Mom Pirates, but like he's so concerned with like his public image and doesn't want, like he does it for a reason. Like we've seen his true face, a fucking embarrassing weirdo fatso, lying on the ground. He probably loves to work out, but a fatso in the sense of like just loves to stuff his face with fucking donuts like a freak and just be, a fucking slob, just like everybody else. Everybody loves to be a slob, but Katacuri cannot show people that he's a fucking slob. He can't afford that because he has a weakness of caring what people think, and this fucking chapter, he throws it off like the fucking Chad he is. Oh, the best Chads are Chads who were once betas, and that's exactly who Katacuri was. He became a Chad this chapter. I love him so much.
Oh yeah, you're really projecting. You're projecting.
No,
It's
it's true though. It's real. I swear.
One thing I want to say about about the Big Mom Pirates as a whole is that with Katacuri being bullied as a kid and Pudding being bullied as a kid and Chiffon and Lola wanting to run away and what's her face, the hammerhead shark girl.
Oh no, I love her. Keep going. I'll look her up.
Jinbei all those characters who are Big Mom's children, not just pirates, they're children of her. Have reason to not want to be in the Big Mom Pirates, and I feel like this is like, indicative of like a theme.
Oh, her name is Praline. Sorry, her name is Charlotte Praline.
Praline.
Praline, whatever.
That Big Mom is a crazy kid who has a stupid, childish dream of having a big old family.
Yeah.
And so she creates bonds and she creates people, and she has this family of pirates that are held together through fear, as opposed to Whitebeard's family of like respect and like cool guys.
Oh, excellent comparison. That's a great comparison.
So like,
and remember, don't forget, like the Whitebeard pirates were held together. None of them were blood relatives. They were held by like mutual respect and like brotherly love, just out of they respect each other. Whereas these guys literally have blood ties, but they like backstab each other and they don't actually care. It's interesting.
It's like the exact opposite. It's like like blood is thick in the water. Thick
that's
being
good
bad.
Shit. What a great comparison. Oh, it's perfect. Oh,
and
I love it. I love it.
These people are forced to be in Big Mom's crew because they were born into it, and a lot of them hate it. And Katacuri here being able to reject, his sister Flambe and whatever, and yeah, fine. Show my pictures to everyone. I'm a freak. I don't give a shit. Luffy's cooler than you,
dude,
and he's not even related to me. And it's like, this is a cool theme for Big Mom in general that ties it together.
Are the Big Mom Pirates?
I do like it.
Are the Big Mom Pirates not the sickest fucking pirate crew in all of One Piece by far? Like, who can compete? Who the fuck is as cool as these guys? The Whitebeard Pirates are okay, but frankly, we've got way more development on the Big Mom Pirates. These guys are so sick. Their dynamics within the family are fucking weird and freakish and awesome. And like, we're learning all these things about these characters. I can't believe how awesome this fucking pirate crew is. They're the best pirate crew in the entire series. Who, the fucking Doflamingo Pirates? Get the fuck out of here. They're fine. Look, I like all of them as individual characters, but like the dynamics at play here, they're so fucking deep and rich and like actually adding compelling narratives to each of these characters within their relationship to the rest of the crew. Like, holy shit. Even the fact there's a fan club for this character, and like there's bunches of members of them, and the leader of the fan club is like another major character in the fucking crew. Oh my god.
It's
How?
It's really good and really like impressive and nice to see an arc written and a crew written around everything so well. Like the idea that Sanji is stolen away and he has to marry Pudding, but there's a reason that Pudding would want to leave, and Sanji, and then there's like Big Mom, because Big Mom has this backstory that we see, and it's like, and this is why the family doesn't really work, and it's sort of like a, what do you call it, a weird family,
dysfunctional family,
dysfunctional family, and it's like it could break. It could break at any moment. These fuckers are all weird, crazy people.
And you know what?
They hate each other. And they imagine Thanksgiving at Big Mom's house.
Oh, no. We're like, thanks, no Thanksgiving. Oh, there you go. And you know what? Fuck Flambe. Katakuri is
Flambe
fucking...
as well. Like, She was a club of him. She didn't know fucking anything about him.
She didn't know shit. So fucking vapid. And all based on superficial bullshit. At his heart, he's just a dude. He's just a fucking dude. Like, don't put him on a fucking pedestal. Yeah, he's a badass. He just wants to live, man. He just wants to eat fucking donuts and weirdo macaroons and all kinds of goofy, stupid shit because he's in the fucking freakish Big Mom Pirates. And you know what? He is fucking handsome, Flambe. He is fucking handsome. I don't want to hear this bullshit about him not being a fucking 10 out of 10 beauty queen. I love Katacuri. I love him so much. Oh my god!
What do you think about the idea that like you know, Pound has been like ostracized, and maybe
Pound.
none of these kids have a father figure at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Aside from their older brothers.
Oh, that's a good point. They're absent of male role models. They need someone to lionize and project their love onto, like a Katacuri, the second son, because God knows they're not going to do it on Prospero, that fucking queen, that fucking poofter. Nah, he's cool, but he's a weirdo.
Long tongue.
He's got a long ass tongue. Oh, he's definitely a child molester. There's no doubt about it. He's got lollipops, giving out candy, and he's a fucking tongue boy. No. Unacceptable.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang guy.
Oh no!
Literally
I don't
the
know.
child catcher. He looks like that guy.
This is so fucking awesome. And you know what? And again, like I do want to say, like, yes. Maybe if I read this back, like, I would actually like love it even more. Like, maybe some of your concerns would be because it is a different experience reading it week to week. If we were to read it all back now, the last, like, I don't know, 20, 10, maybe 10 chapters, I wonder if it would like roll smoother. Like, we'd feel a little bit of the tension building more about his like growing respect for Luffy. I want to go back and do that at the conclusion of this whole fight.
Yeah,
but
I probably should. I feel like at some point, like maybe after this arc.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to fucking Punk Hazard and reread from there because it's some of the bits that I've read, I forget how it all turned out.
I want to reread from the start of the New World. And can we officially call it? I mean, okay, maybe this arc will end terribly, but I'm calling the New World arc fucking saved. Like, it's definitely saved at this point. Like, people were shit-talking it because Fishman Island wasn't that great. According to some people, I think there's a lot to love about Fishman Island. It was disappointing in some ways. I remember feeling that as well. Punk Hazard was okay. Not fantastic. Dressrosa was good in many ways, but also extremely flawed in other ways, obviously. Zoe was great. Loved Zoe. Now, this is awesome, too. But, goddamn, just what a fucking roller coaster. Every fucking chapter of One Piece, dude. I mean, they're not all 10 out of 10 amazing. Even this, I wouldn't call, like, perfect. Like, but the issues on display here, the character of Katacuri is so resonant with me. Like, there's no way I could ever not fucking love what's happening here. Oh, and, like, the juxtaposition. Like, Katacuri by himself is great, but it's the way they specifically point out how he is, like, good and characters like Flambe are evil. It's like, oh my god. Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Yes, king. Yes, queen. Whatever.
Yes, Queen Big Mom.
Damn right. Damn right. Okay, you know what? Let's keep going. So they're facing off because the next thing that happens is even cooler. Oh my god! The Haoshoku Haki fucking thing they do. Okay, so Katacuri and Luffy are just...
If you look at the panel where they do it, they've got like two orbs around them, and in the middle is where it like clashes, but it doesn't hit each other. Yeah. But it's like it's like a big butt of explosive power.
It is like a fucking butt. Oh, you ruined One Piece. Big butt, just like Flambe, my favorite character in One Piece. And actually, you know what? I actually do like Flambe as a character a lot. Like, I detest her. She represents everything bad in the world, but that's what makes her a good character. I think she's very... Like, she's obviously very resonant with me, so I'm just saying, I don't, like, hate that she's included. I'm actually very happy she's here and gets... So, everything I just described happens, okay? All that stuff about, you know, Flambe shit-talking, laughing at Luffy, Katacuri recognizing and respecting Luffy more, like, respecting someone who's, like, capable and stands up for what he believes and acts on his own, you know, doesn't ride anyone else's coattails. That's all amazing and incredible. And here we see the confrontation. Luffy is back on his feet. Katacuri has stabbed himself. They're now facing each other, and they unleash Conqueror's Haki, which is, just to refresh everybody, the Haki... The color of the Conqueror. It is literally your determination in life to get where you need to go, succeed. It is just a like a tropified, like canonized, powerized version of like gumption and just like get-ups and goesmanship is literally what it is as a force in One Piece. And of course, we see them immediately do this, and they just clash with their Haki, and it vaporizes all those hangers-on, all those fucking critics, all those fucking bullies, all those weak-willed, cowardly pieces of shit, especially Flambe. They've got no fucking grit.
Now, Nate.
Yes.
I gotta say.
Okay. Go on. What do you got?
Why didn't Luffy do this earlier?
Oh, no.
Why didn't he knock him out earlier?
Oh,
Nate?
Jesus Christ. Die, everyone. Look, if you want a canon reason, it's just because, like, when a guy's trying to stab you, it's hard to, like, unleash your Conqueror's Haki. But now they're doing, like, a face-down, big, dramatic moment, so... that's why. That's why. Also, he's only been hit by, like, that dart, like, once. So, like, it wouldn't have made... I mean, I don't know. He, like, could have done it. But, like, he didn't know anyone was there, like, attacking him until recently.
I guess maybe he wasn't, like, thinking about, like, he could have done it to Brule even earlier than that, but they weren't...
Yeah, that's true.
She wasn't even doing anything. So
it was... There was no, like... yes. Like, he got hit by that dart. It got him hurt real bad. He got stabbed in a big way because of it. But, like... I don't know. He was in the middle of a fight. Like, he's fighting Katacuri. He doesn't have... It's not practical to just unleash your Haki, like, all the time, I guess. Like, I don't know. Does anyone actually think this is a problem? I know that you're goofing,
no,
but, like, okay.
I'm
right.
goofing.
Yeah.
One thing I want to note, Luffy's tooth that had fallen out earlier and then came back, it's fallen out again.
Is that the same tooth?
It is the same tooth, I believe. It's the top row on the left.
Well, do we need to start our counter up again for Luffy having lost that tooth? What were we at before? Like 10 chapters or something? I forget, but if anyone remembers, please comment it on the video, whatever number we had gotten up to, and I will continue it next week if I remember to check the
It's
fucking
a cool...
comments.
Maybe it's the same tooth. I feel like it is. But if it is, it's cool because it's like the tooth fell out already, and it's like... you know how bones, once you break them, they just break more easily the next time?
Yeah.
It's that one tooth is broken. It'll keep breaking. Every time he gets beat up, it'll be that tooth.
I am going
to... put a gold tooth.
A goldy tooth. Yes. Excellent. Well, okay, we're almost done. I'm going to try to go back and, like, see which tooth he had lost while we're doing this. But let's wrap this up. I mean, we're on the very last page now. So the very last page... is just Katacuri, straight up, like he took off his jacket, his sick-ass motorcycle jacket, he's just fucking, oh god, I love this last panel, it's so fucking sick. It's just Katacuri with his glowy-ass weirdo hands, I no longer think you're below my level. He's wheezing, man, you can see the zeh automatopoeias there, with the don in the background, and Luffy's just like, is that so? Glad to hear it, thanks, but I'm gonna win. Fucking embarrassing,
I don't know
Luffy.
whether he says it that way.
It's canon though. It's for real.
And now they're gonna have a boxing match. What? Fists only. No items. No devil fruits. Just
Fist versus Fist in a one-on-one match. Okay. So listen, anybody who's got lingering resentment, I feel like a lot of people might take away from this chapter that they just think it's bullshit that Katacuri, like, evened the playing field again. And you know what? This is relevant to revisit at the end of our chapter reading here. Like, how many times have both of us said, like, oh god, please don't let Luffy just, like, win this. Please don't let him just, like, win.
Well, yeah, that would be the thing that, like, I don't mind any of this happening.
That would change everything. Yeah, if he just wins.
But if this is what allows him to win, then it'll retroactively be a bit like, okay, now.
Yeah, I'll definitely...
I still think that, I mean, with this whole, like, a lot of Big Mom pirates and, like, don't like being in the family, and there's, like, Big Mom's fucking crazy, and, you know, we got to sate her with a cake and everything. It's like, Jesus, what a hassle, you know, what a hassle-hoff. So, like, would there be, at the end of this arc, even a Big Mom crew that wants to stay together? Like, if Big Mom died, not that she would, I don't think she will die, but if she did, there would be no real reason for everyone to stay together. Maybe a few people would stay loyal to Big Mom. Yeah. But a lot of people would be like, fucking finally, I can go and do whatever I like. And Katacuri, I think, would leave. He would just leave and be a cool guy like Aokiji. And he might come back at some point.
Probably.
And that would be like a cool, like, I'll fight you again. You know, neither of them is going to win, quote unquote, I don't think. They're maybe going to tire each other out. Just be like a mirror fight, like they're on equal level. and they're gonna Katacuri's gonna go away and train, and Luffy's gonna go away and train, and they're gonna fight again. They're gonna meet each other on fucking Raftel or something strange.
It's I love everything about Katacuri so much. he's a mochi
Dude,
man.
he's got a skull on his fucking bicep.
He's got the fucking skull. Oh my god, he's one of us. He's hashtag or slash our guy, or hashtag slash skull guy.
Hash slash.
Like, yes, exactly. Also, how sick is it that his jacket has the word Charlotte written across the top? Dude, he's just got such fucking style. Like, Jesus Christ. I love everything about this fucking man. But, okay. On a serious note, okay. If... Oh, God. It really... things do depend on how this, like, ultimately plays out. If Luffy, like, develops more Haki and, like, uses it to, like, overcome, you know, our boy here, like... Will I hate that? I won't love it, but I can accept it. Like, this fight has been dependent on, like, Luffy growing stronger. That's, like, the thing of this whole fight. And, like, observation Haki has been, like, the thing at play here. That's, like, the relevant factor. So, like, if Luffy continues to grow, like, he's one-on-one fighting this man on his own terms, you know, nobody's getting fucking involved. They're just matching power for power now. Like... As long as Katacuri gives it his all, and Luffy just, he gets enough Haki to overcome this guy, I won't lose my shit. I will not lose my shit. But, like, we really should not forget, at the same time, it was expressed, we were so clear. It was so clearly displayed before that Katacuri is just way stronger than Luffy in literally every category. I feel like I honestly feel what Oda is building up to is, like, that Luffy will, like, get an edge on him for, like, a little bit in observation Haki.
If there's any edge, it's that Katacuri now has a fucking fatal wound.
That's the thing. That, like, if Luffy wins...
would not have been able to give him that fatal wound, and if he didn't have it, he would not stand a chance, and this is the turning point. This is where he's going to have something over him.
Okay.
I guess, somehow.
If Luffy wins, it will be fair to say, like, well, I mean, okay, but he wouldn't have fucking won if Katacuri hadn't fucking, like, fatally wounded himself. And I can see why people would be frustrated with that. I would just ask people to remember the context here of all the things. It is understandable why Katacuri would do that. There is a justification for it. You can think it's bullshit. You can think it's dumb. You know, I was, like, the most strident one saying, like, Luffy cannot win this fight. It would just be bullshit. And that's still kind of true. Like, what my dream is that they fight toe-to-toe. Katacuri goes at it with his fucking all. Luffy goes at it with his fucking all. And Luffy still loses, but has grown a ton during this fight. And then Katacuri, we've clearly shown, now respects Luffy in you know, in as strong terms as possible.
You know what? I think the fact that everybody else has been knocked out by Conqueror's Haki will lead to a result where both of them are just lying down, unable to get up.
If they ended a stalemate, I will not be freaking out. I will not lose my shit if Luffy and Katacuri, like, just tire each other out. Because let's not forget, it's entirely possible that Luffy has more stamina than you know, this guy. I mean, that's a possibility. So, like... As long as we don't just say Luffy was like less strong, less fast, didn't have as good Haki in any category, he has a worse Devil Fruit categorically, and like his stamina is weaker, but he somehow won. Cause I don't know, like there has to be a justification. There has to be a justification for why Luffy wins.
Here's the justification. Katacuri is gonna get donut hungry, and there's gonna be no more donuts left.
I mean, honestly, that's not even that bad because we've kind of been set up to like. You know, be aware of that possibility. He had to do it once. He was getting a little tuckered out. But then again, Luffy gets hungry too. I mean, I don't know.
Well, Luffy ate the mochi, I think, didn't he?
Okay, what if it comes down to this? Let's say they both get really tired out. Oh, he did eat some mochi. That's true. What if at the very end of the fight, it's just the fact that either Luffy ate that mochi that gave him the energy to win, whereas, you know, this guy hasn't had a chance to eat as much. Or maybe at the very end, like, Brûlée will roll out, like, a tray cart full of meat, or like candies or whatever, and she'll be like, look, I brought you food, brother. And like then they'll look at each other and they'll have to go race to the food, and whoever eats the food gets their HP refilled and will definitely be able to win then. Like if there's some shit like that that's a justification for why Luffy could get an edge, then it'd be fine. I'm totally okay with things like that happening. But
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
there has to be a reason.
what we, we know that
Mm-hmm.
there are certain things that are definitely bad, like Luffy winning for no stated reason.
Especially
at all.
with this fucking stab wound. Like, now Oda has
As
to work
long as
extra
there's
hard.
a reason, like it
Yeah.
can even be a comedy thing, as long as it's not
Absolutely.
like through Luffy wanted it more. Like that's not enough.
Like, remember how Usopp fucking defeated Sugar, like, literally by accident as a joke? Like, that was, like, the best thing that happened in Dressrosa. It was incredible. I 10 out of 10 loved it. And then they fucking revisit it later when he does the big shot to spook Sugar again. Like, that was, like, the best thing that ever happened. Best thing about Dressrosa, probably, by far. So, like, I am totally willing to have gigantic game-changing moments be literal jokes. Because Oda can do it right. Oda can do it right for sure. But... Like honestly, the narrative here is already concluded. The rest of this fight is kind of not important. Like, someone's going to win. I don't really care who wins. It's just a matter of, like, how they win. There needs to be a good reason for why this person wins. And Luffy just proving to be better would definitely stretch my believability. So please, Oda, just put a little thought into it. Make me buy that Luffy could win. Make me happy that Luffy won this battle. Don't make me mad and disappointed by just having him somehow magically win because he's the main character of One Piece. That is the last thing I want. I don't want that at all. But that's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
We did it.
Fucking an hour and 10 minutes long. Oh, God. There's so much to say about this fucking chapter. Did I fucking miss anything? I feel good. I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah. I think I may have had a few more things to say about Flambe, but there's...
If you want to, feel free to say them now. I mean,
No, they were sort of like in the moment sort of things. I kind of forgot what they were.
I'm sorry if I...
She's a bitch.
She's the worst. She just represents everything evil in this world. And I just want to repeat.
Here's what it was. It was
okay.
Her inclusion so late into this battle was kind of weird. Just in general, I don't mind it really. It's just sort of like, and the fact that she loves Katacuri and that she completely turns like it's her and her cronies are so over the top evil with the laughing, and I don't know whether I dislike that or like it. It's just something that is like,
Yeah.
like when she has the so lame face, it's like she could not be more reviled and disgusted and spitting in his face with the funny duck lips.
You're not wrong. And it might have been nice to just like introduce her in some small way up to this point, because we've seen so many of the Big Mom pirates and like the kids up to this point. But
I don't really
she is the
mind.
leader of a fan club and is a totally vapid cunt. That is her character. So I don't know.
It feels a bit silly that all these people who know how strong Katacuri is would very, very easily laugh and take pictures of him, even though he's so scary now.
Well, that's
like,
the
I
thing.
Thought
yeah. They just really fucking flipped on a dime.
they go right up in his face and go, ka-chik, ka-chik, ha ha ha, and it's like, wait, he would kill you.
They've got
You
the
know
mob
that.
mentality. They're being bullies because they feel emboldened by his sister, like also laughing. They're just playing along. I guess they feel mob justice, or like they're protected by the fact they're in a crowd. That's the impression I get anyway. Yeah. I mean,
They served a narrative purpose really more than just doing anything. real.
That's definitely true. And this whole arc, this whole fight has been a great characterization of Katacuri, which is exactly what a shonen like battle arc should be. Like, with a protagonist, we know everything there is to know about Luffy for the most part. Oda definitely keeps some secrets locked away, like we didn't know he was fucking Dragon's son until way later, all that bullshit. But like a fight between a shonen protagonist and a villain is an examination of the villain's character, because we know basically everything about the main hero already for the most part. And do I feel pretty damn satisfied by what has transpired with Katacuri. And I am just reading over the beginning of this chapter, looking at Luffy just screeching in pain while these fucking cunts laugh at him, and Katacuri just beats him the fuck down, doing these sick-ass shonen kill moves, while Luffy just like struggles for his fucking life, covering his fucking wounds so his organs don't leak out. Just, it's pathetic in the empathetic sort of way, And like all the cool, like how fucking sick is the fact that Katacuri can make these sick ass donuts that shoot mochi arms out of them. Like no character's done anything like this before. It's so fucking cool, and yet it's all used like to facilitate making Luffy seem like pathetic and sad and weak because this cunt interfered, and it's not. I don't know. Like again, like yes, Luffy himself says, it's a pirate's fight. You know, all rules, it's fair, do whatever you want.
Life for me.
But the mockery on display here, they do not respect Luffy. They do not respect the effort he's giving in, and they deserve our absolute contempt. And Katacuri recognizes that, and that is why he wants to even the playing field, because he respects Luffy. And what more is there to say but that? Yeah, and that's it.
Yep.
That's all I got. Whew. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You know you got your money's worth this week if you are a patron at God damn it, the fucking oh no, it's patreon.com/thepodcastpirates is the URL.
Yes.
Or if that doesn't, it's just click the link in the description. It's there. It's correct. Give us money for this dope weed. Dope weed. That's extra potent.
Why'd you have to undermine everything you say with a weed joke?
Dude, oh my god, you could fucking use a fucking pufferfish bitch as a fucking bong, fill it with weed smoke, and then just
Stop.
Fucking
Please.
sick though. Okay, all right. We're done. Thanks for listening, everybody. Oh god, that was intense. Leave your comments. I'm curious if everyone agrees with me, or if you have more problem with this. I'm real curious. Anyway.
Yeah, and if you would like to talk about One Piece all the time, come to our Poddcast Discord. The Poddiscord.
That's right.
Is the name.
There's a link in the
description.
Yeah, it's free for everybody, but we do have special places just for patrons. So if you want to be a patron, you get access to the secret shit too. So there you go. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good time, and we'll see you tomorrow, next week. Okay,
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.